answer to this entire video is yes, but of course saying yes just makes this question too simple. Why is now actually the best time to play Wuthering Waves? Well, it goes deeper in the rabbit hole than just a simple yes. And this 100% does have to do with the Wuthering Waves anniversary event and more. My name is Mikey, and today we will be breaking down why now is the best time to start playing this game. So let's jump right into it. As some of you may or may not know, we just got the news of an insane double phase of a total of 10 limited characters on the banner reruns coming up. Actually, I was wrong. It's going to be a total of 12 characters if we include the Resonators, Zani, and Sisiona. And this is all starting on April 29th when we get the launch of the anniversary event in Wuthering Waves. Now, I know that people have their mixed opinions on the fact that we have so many banners and it can be overwhelming, but there's actually some things that we as players should be thinking about when this time arrives. If you are an existing player, you gotta decide which characters are going to be best for you and your account, or if you just don't simply pull for meta, then pull for your favorite character out of the set that is given to us. For example, if you're a Carlotta enjoyer just like myself, then you might want to consider summoning for Jeje, as she works really well with Carlotta. Or another example, if you are a Camellia enjoyer, you might want to consider summoning for Roshia, as she works really well with Camellia. And these are just some examples of things you should be thinking about that I think about. It's also important to keep in mind that you don't need to build your account simply off meta teams. I'm just doing this because I have a Camellia and Carlotta, and I want to maximize D2 DPS characters as my main DPS because these are my two favorite DPS characters. And they happen to be very strong, so I ended up fortunate in that sense, but this does not mean that other characters won't work well as well. You absolutely do not need to build your account off of simply meta teams. You can always play and roll for whatever you want to roll for as far as summons go, because at the end of the day, you need to get satisfaction out of the game, and this game is really skill oriented and rewards the player's skill, so you do not need the most meta units in order to clear a whole bunch of the content in this game. Now, getting back on topic here, there's others what I like to call placeholders or even compatible good 4-star characters that can work well in these teams as well. As we know, this is a common discussion that we always talk about when it comes to the state of your account. It just really all depends on you and what you are looking for at the end of the day. This 10 banner update is going to be really good for new players, and the reason being is the fact that Wuthering Waves is extremely free to play friendly. You can accumulate a bank robbery full of gacha summons to put towards any of these characters you may want. It's a perfect time to start mainly because there's a whole bunch of teams you can look into and a whole bunch of content that needs to be cleared. Characters from all the way from the first version of the game that you may have not been able to get because you would have to wait for a rerun. Most of the limited banner characters that we have had in recent updates that you may have missed are going to be here. And for you meta wanters that must be meta havers, there is a bunch of insane crazy units that are coming back for a rerun and you have the chance of obtaining. And wait, this just doesn't end on the 10 limited banner characters from the anniversary event. You also need to take in consideration the 10 weapons for these characters that you can obtain as well. But wouldn't that be more summons that we would have to waste? Yes and no. Yes, you would have to invest more asteroids and gacha summons into these weapons. However, Hero Games designed Wuthering Waves with the weapon gacha system to be 100% guaranteed. You can never lose on the weapon banner. There's another thing that you guys should be taking into consideration. Now, you can still end up wasting gacha currency if you end up going max pity or not winning weapons early when it comes to these banners. So another thing to think about is summoning more variety as far as units go. They go in straight into thinking about the weapon as well. But this is going to all come down to research at the end of the day. There are some really good weapons out there that you can actually use with multiple characters. An example of this is Shorekeeper's weapon, Stellar Symphony. A lot of games will argue you don't need this weapon, and while they are actually completely right, as you may not need this weapon because you could use rectifiers like Variation, for example, which is really good on Shorekeeper and Verena. But what if I told you the Stellar Symphony actually has long-term use? The way it has long-term use is giving a team-wide attack buffs after the character who has it equipped uses their skill, which essentially means you can use this on any future support character to help buff your team's attack damage. So that means this weapon is going to be valuable for your account long-term if you decided to get it. But at the same time, always consider the free-to-play option as well, as sometimes they may not even make a complete difference, or they just simply have enough value for you and what you are looking for. So it's important to always consider not just characters but also the weapons as well. Now, if you're a player that is starting out, then you have a whole bunch of possible farming you can do within the open world to actually start securing way more summons. And starting out means you have more of an open world that current players have at the moment, meaning there's a lot you can actually secure during this period. Big advantage you have as opposed to a day one player is the fact that you can pave the way to your account due to the fact that you have all the resources ahead of you and knowledge about what all the characters can and cannot do, which will be pretty insane for any new players coming in. Now, I won't be going too much into the nitty gritty of what characters are the best to summon out of these 10 that we are getting, because that is not this type of video, but I will say you have a whole bunch of options that you can go with, which is absolutely exciting. If you are enjoying this video or finding it useful, make sure you subscribe and come kick it with me live. I'm live on Twitch and YouTube every single weekend. Thank you guys. So it's the anniversary event coming up, and we are going to be gifted lots of rewards going into this next patch. And when talking about free to play rewards, we want to cover what's going to be pretty much handed to us for free without that much grind heavy open world like we talked about in the topic beforehand. However, as of right now, we should be receiving over 40 summons, but there really isn't going to be an accurate number of what Kuro Games decides due to recent events of the uproar of players being unhappy with the anniversary rewards. So this number may increase depending on what happens. But anyways, you're going to be given lots of summoning rewards during the anniversary anniversary, so getting these rewards will be a huge plus to get you started on your journey in Wuthering Waves. Now, during this journey, if you are new to the game, there are so many possibilities to earn free asteroid or gacha summons. For example, because you are new, you may have to work to upgrade your databank level, which has to do with discovering echoes and catching them all like Pokemon. Another example is the achievements, because since you are new and you don't have any, these will stack up faster during your playthrough. Then doing these things while playing Wuthering Waves plus the free gacha summons you're going to be getting for the anniversary event will lead you to having a lot of summons for this time period, and the wide selections of all the characters that you can possibly get and all the teams that you could possibly make. Heck, if you even wanted to, with the free summons given by the anniversary event, if you don't get a limited banner in like the first like whatever pulls are given, you can actually as a free player just do a reroll account, which is absolutely insane to think about. So besides the free standard banner characters that you are going to be given because you are a new player, you can reroll up until you win a 50-50 or get a certain character that you want to start off strong. So the reroll possibility when it comes to the anniversary event is actually up there for new players. You also have to keep in mind the catch up you're going to have to do, as well as the main quest and story will land you way more asteroid and free summons along the way if you do decide that this is the account you're going to be grinding on. There's also the fact that while doing this will increase your union level or your account level, and when you do this, you will land even more free summons to get you started, as well as a free 5-star weapon. Just simply ranking up your account level or your union level will land you this. Also announced in the 2.3 anniversary patch, if you're an individual that missed out on the free 5-star standard banner selector, you as a new player will still be able to claim that. When this came out for us OG players, there was only a 365-day claim on it, but the claim will reset for the new players coming in. So you should 100% be taking advantage of this. Now, I also wanted to talk about the free 4-star characters as well. Right now, there isn't going to be exactly a huge roster of 4-star characters because we are still at 1 year since release. You should 100% take advantage, as within every 10 summons out of a limited banner, you will be able to obtain a 4-star weapon or character. Now, this could be good for the long-term investment coming in hand to hand with all the free gacha summons, because if you're fortunate enough, you can land some pretty good gear. Although we all hope to win early pity on our 5-star characters we are looking forward to, you could obtain one of the best 4-stars in the game, Wuwa, which I am pretty certain that you obtain at the beginning of the game anyways for free. Wuwa is a character that builds off an energy regen and can shuttle really well. So if you are able to obtain 6 copies of Wuwa, you could actually apply team-wide attack buffs to your team as well using Wuwa's kit. This is just one of many examples of all the possible 4-stars you can get that you can actually utilize in Wuthering Waves. It's actually one of the better things of this game in my opinion, that the 4-stars really don't feel that underwhelming in a team composition. Of course, no matter, having a 5-star unit is always going to be better and flashier than a 4-star unit, but with Wuthering Waves, skill is rewarded, so you never really got to worry about having the 4-star units. If you're a newer player, you probably won't be able to completely tap into Tower Adversity and complete the holograms as far as the end game modes go, but you can get the earlier stages as well for more asteroid. However, you can focus on the events coming in as well to obtain more summons. There's so many ways you can grind your account in a way where you'll be able to start off strong. During the anniversary event, you'll be able to obtain a lot of gacha currency. You'll be able to plan your teams and gacha summons accordingly. Just all depends on you. The future of Wuthering Waves, in my opinion, looks really bright. There's a couple of things I want to go over as far as how well the game has come along since its release and even before then. When investing your time into a game that you're really going to pick up, you got to make sure you are going to get your money's worth out of the game. And for me personally, I classify time more valuable than money, as time will make more sense since there is a handful of players out there who will be playing this game free to play. Now, we did go over the free to play aspects of this game in earlier topics of this video, but now I want to go over more into my thoughts about how the game will fare in the future after year 1. Now, if we talk about exactly how Kuro Games has been as a development team, I will be the first to say they have been more than fair, especially with how transparent they have been with the community and their players. I was watching the anniversary stream and you can just feel the life and excitement behind the development team through every single patch. Now, besides that, I am aware of what happened with the anniversary patch rewards and how people felt, but despite what you may or may not feel, it is no lie that Kuro Games always does their very best when it comes to sending out very good updates to keep you wanting to come back for a second bite. And if we're going to be honest, they've been working towards making the game better both for the players' time and quality of what you get out of the game as far as an open world and gameplay goes. For example, we could take the wings that we got when the update of Red came out. The wings help enhance open world exploration by making it easier to travel by flying. And let me be the voice of most of us players. The flying is absolutely amazing, it looks sick, and it's just an overall really great quality of the life feature that makes the game way more enjoyable to play. They even added open world challenges that make the flying even more fun. The only thing I personally hope for is that we see something similar in the future updates, or we can get flying everywhere. Another example of what Wuthering Waves did is this loot mapper device that helps you find chests in the earlier stages of the game. Because now in future updates, when it comes to Renciera and the recent update and patch of Wuthering Waves, they made it way more easier to explore and 100% maps inside the areas of the game. Let me hit you guys with another one. Wuthering Waves did great coming up in the fact that they're implementing 120 FPS and ray tracing to other graphics cards like AMD and Intel, giving more life and smoothness to their open world game and experience for the players. If we look back all the way to the alpha test to now, we can take into consideration how much Kuro Games has done since the launch of the game. And for me, the consumer, I am very impressed and pleased. Now, I also want to bring up the character designs and outfits since we are going to be receiving the brand new skins for Carlotta and Changli. These skins look absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to see what these will look like in the next patch. Even Jin Shi, who got the very first skin with Sanhua, those skins look very cool as well. In the earlier stages of Wuthering Waves, our 5-star characters did look alright for the most part in my own opinion. Yinlin, Jayan, and Jin Shi really stood out the most, and I will say the designs, I like them a lot. But as we go on, we are experiencing the creativity in most characters as we are seeing characters like Carlotta, Changli, and Phoebe. And the more newer characters we are seeing, a lot of the creativity when it comes to them. And to be quite honest, I am here for it. The aesthetics of the combat is getting way better. I'm loving the characters' kits and just the direction in general we are going. But the main thing to 100% always look at is the response time and the transparency of games when they mess up, or just simply when they're going to add a quality of the life change or anything that's going to impact the game in a positive manner. I like how fast they reply, and it feels like we are never in the dark as consumers, as they are always asking for our feedback. I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to investing my time into a live service game or a game I'm going to invest a whole lot of time in, I want to make sure I rely on the development team to send out consistent and great updates that cater to me as a consumer. I want to be the one asking for a second bite of that dessert. If Games continues to carry Wuthering Waves as it is now, it's going to become one of the best gachas of all time if it hasn't already peaked at that. If you reached the end of the video, turn on post notifications, smash that like button, leave a comment, and join the community Discord. Peace out, guys.